I did Mjengo for around since 2012 to 2015, April, when I had done a certain internship at Air Insurance. I had forgot about everything employment, so I was called back. There is a certain opportunity, but we pay 500 a day. Will you accept it? So I compared with the pay and the non-financial benefits I was getting from the other side. So I managed just to say, let me go back to Air Insurance. So after I worked the entire 2016, 2017 I was offered a contract, and I was being paid around 20,000. After deduction, I would remain with 17 to 16,000. So I had another plan, and I said, this is another plan. What type of business can I do? I wrote down 4 types of businesses. Cyber, another one I had to venture into farming, vegetable farming, fast foods, and another one was transport, to buy a motorbike. So the only option I had is I looked around Nairobi and I saw people liked eating a lot. So I ventured into fast foods, and I opened a small cafe fast food restaurant where I started with mandazi. I graduated slowly to chips, to chicken, smoky sausages, until the time I opened a butcher. And during the opening of the butcher, that was in 2018, August. The butcher went on smoothly, very well. The business now had boomed. But quite unfortunate that when Corona came and the president ordered, by that time, all the hospitality industry to close, that is when I found a greatest setback that I'll never forget. But too, it taught me a lesson. After that, I had to run the business 2019, 2020, and I saw the rent arrears were increasing. So I had to call the landlord and talk to him. And I told him, I don't have money to pay you, but I have this idea. Would you mind looking for someone? We sell this business, or I look for one. So he told me, let me look for one. And I said, well, if I too get another, I'll do the same. So what he did, he found, and I thank God it was my neighbor's shop that took the business. So we bargained. I sold the business at a low cost, 110,000, but I was expecting over 400,000. But with the situation it was in, I had to pick that. So I had to pay all the arrears I had, the debts I had to the people I was picking goods, and the rent arrears. I remained with a little money. I came here to Migori with less than 30,000. And since I had a dream of rearing turkeys, that was last year, February. I came on 25th February. I started looking for turkeys. Most of the people were convincing me, look for hens to rear chicken. I told them, no, I don't want chicken, I only want turkeys. So we looked for turkeys. The funny thing I found that turkeys were rare to find them in this region. Until a certain man connected me to a farmer in Nyatike. From it is a long journey. That is where I had to I found 4 turkeys, and I came with him. That was on 5th March. And I remember I prayed to God, now do not shame me. This is the only part now I can survive. And God heard my cry. He gave me the grace to go. And the journey was not easy. As people might think, neither was it a bed of rose flowers. I struggled. with the birds. And the reason as to why mostly I ventured into this turkey farming because of the profit. It is a source of money because a pair goes at 10 to 11,000, depending on the CBA, because you don't have a fixed price of them. And beside the money profits, we look at the other security, source of security around the compound. Once the visitor comes inside the compound, the turkeys will signal. There are certain noise you will hear. And it will depend on the person. If the person has got different moves towards the birds or the compound, you will notice. But if the person is humble and calm, they will only make one sound and keep quiet. From there, the other important, besides the security, the other important is about the hens, turkey. Besides giving you the eggs and the meat, the hen turkeys are used to hatch the chicken, the normal chicken eggs, because they occupy a big space. Their bodies are very big, so to accommodate the chicken eggs in big numbers, that is another important. Most of the farmers don't rear turkeys to keep them. They only use them as an advantage. They keep chickens to use the turkeys for hatching. Business, I started it because I saw how fast the turkeys were growing when I was young. So comparing to the growth of a turkey and a hen or a chicken, I used to monitor the two. Because if I give an example, these ones are 2 months old, and if you compare it to the chicken, the normal chicken chick, you will identify a great difference. So the reason as to why I ventured into it was that turkeys grow faster, and once they grow faster, you use minimal food, because most of the turkeys, their feeds is 75% greens. They feed on 75% greens, 25% agro feeds. So I looked at it and saw that if I don't have enough food to buy at the agro or money to buy, so I'll rather graze them as I normally graze them in the bushes outside here, than use a lot of money or invest in another thing that will consume a lot of money. So rearing turkeys is cheaper compared to any other poultry. A 2 month old, for now, this one will go at 1,500 shillings. A pair will go at 3,000. But if you take a chicken, a 2 month old, surely maybe you'll be told that 200 or 150. That is what I believe in. That is why I said it was important for me to venture into turkey, because the amount of money. If, for example, an egg I personally, I sell at 350. Depending who, whether you are my neighbor, the passers-by, other people from other regions. I have no compromise. We only use a 350 because I bargain from 500, then we settle at 350. That is my price of eggs. And the reason as why I sell eggs, these turkeys of mine, it depends on the breed and how you feed them, because these mines, they lay 17 to 23 eggs. So if you watch at the production of the eggs, so as an example, I had around 13 turkeys laying eggs last season. So I could not accommodate them. So what I did, I only took 8 turkeys and gave them a number of 12 each to hatch into the chicks. But the remaining eggs, what I did, I had to sell. Some I make as food. And when I sell, I buy food for the chicks coming, on the way coming, and I personally, I feed on them. The challenges here, we only have 2 major challenges in turkey farming. Once you manage these 2 challenges, we have number 1, when the chicks are very young, week 1 to 6 weeks, you don't let them outside. What you do when they are week 1 old, you buy a certain drug called the chick starter. It is a soluble solvent, so you dissolve in water for the 7 days consecutive day 1 to the 7th day. And you feed them on the meal called the chick mash for the first 3 weeks. And if you don't have money to buy the chick starter, you will use the simple traditional method that we used to use. You will take the aloe vera and the pepper, ile pilipili kali sana, the pepper one. You boil them together. The end product, it will give you a pink color water. So the pink color water, you place it on the chick drinker for the entire 3 weeks, because this is a traditional method we are using. And since the technology and the spread of diseases is commonly used in the areas, you use them continuously with pepper and aloe vera. Once you are done that, the first 3 weeks, I've said you use the chick starter. If you don't have money, use the aloe vera continuously and the pepper. Then the chick mash, feed them with the chick mash. The 3rd and to the 6th week, you buy multivitamin, a drug called Amylite, which is also cheap. It is 150 shillings. What you do, you dissolve it in water for the 3rd week, the entire week of it. Once you've done, change the feeding mode. Give them the feeds known as growers to enable them grow faster if you want to sell the chicks. Once you finish the 3rd week of the vitamin, the Amylite and the growers for the 3 weeks, immediately the 5th week, you can buy this common drug that we use, the amoxil and flagy. The importance of the amoxil and flagy, it will help them it will protect them against the antibiotics once you release them outside on the 6th week. So when the 6th week is done, immediately the 2nd day of the 7th week, you've released them outside. You can buy a drug called or a vaccine called the Fowlpox vaccine. The Fowlpox vaccine, you will inject them on the feathers. It will only cost 1,000. Once you've treated them, that on the 7th week, you will just let them go. There is no day you will either use other medicines or any other things. What you do, it is just to deworm them after the 3 months. You give them deworming drugs, ensure multivitamin are always continuously. On the week 4, because once they are finished the 3 weeks, the week 4th you vaccinate them against the Newcastle disease. It is another important area to note. You vaccinate them against the Newcastle disease that is common either to hens and turkeys, other poultry farms. That is what I'll encourage somebody to do for the 1st week until the 6th and the 2nd day of the 7th week. Once you've done that, now you can ensure you release them outside. And once you've released them outside, ensure there are no other predators, because dogs, they don't walk the same walk with the turkeys. The turkeys chase dogs most commonly. I don't know why. So I think cats will, the wild cats are too dangerous towards these birds.
Mm-hmm.